that's a good idea. I think that generally from like the police presence and more of that smaller community, you get better services. Even though your taxes may go up a little bit, it usually justifies it. But like I said, I do need to learn more, just being a new resident.
I think it's a good thing. Local representation, local police, local fire makes it a little bit easier to keep up with. And since we've transitioned, we've seen a lot more police patrol come by.
Okay, so you feel more secure.
Definitely.
And is there any concern with higher taxes?
I mean, it goes with the territory. If you're going to have, better public services, you're going to have higher taxes.
But you're happy with where they're going?
Yeah. As long as they don't go skyrocket.
Well, I've lived here now for 23 years. I think that's about right, 23, 24 years. And I would have to say the one thing I've noticed mainly is as far as, police force and so forth in the neighborhood, we have a much better resource there. I mean, I see the police are more visible in our neighborhood. They patrol more often. I feel like the neighborhood has improved because of that. Crime that happens in the neighborhood that we're alerted to is, they're on top of that. You feel safer because of that. And the response time is faster than it used to be with DeKalb.
Do you miss being part of DeKalb at all? Any aspect of it?
No, not really. I can't really say I miss it.
What about concerns for taxes going up? Is there any issues with that?
Well, that is a concern, but my feeling is when it comes to your community, property values, protecting your properties in your neighborhood, it's worth it.
I live in Dunwoody now, but I did live in Chamblee for about 20 years. And I was lucky enough to live within the city limits. And let me tell you, huge difference between the city limits and DeKalb County Incorporated, because my services were fabulous. I could cut my grass, leave the grass on the curb, they would pick it up. I could put anything on the curb, they would pick it up. The cops were there if you needed them. Chamblee has fabulous services. So I feel that anybody who gets annexed into Chamblee, they're lucky. I'm an Atlanta native, grew up in Fulton County. I have never witnessed services like Chamblee has.
I'm Nick Herrera. I live in the Huntley Hills neighborhood. I'm a local real estate agent by day, but I feel like I'm a community activist sometimes. So.
Okay, and how do you feel about the post-annexation of the surrounding areas into the city of Chamblee, including Huntley Hills?
I think it has been great for our neighborhood. I think it's been great for our family. We've been very pleased with the police presence in the neighborhood. Feel involved with the city and involved with the local politics, that we have a voice in our local government. In general, I just think it's been a very positive experience.
What role did you play in the annexation?
Well, I was a bit of an instigator with the annexation. When I served on the neighborhood association, one of the things that I did was to see if that was something that our neighborhood was interested in. Led an effort to survey the neighborhood to see where the people felt, if they wanted to be annexed into a city, if they wanted to be part of creation of a city, did they want to stay the way they are, and so forth. And I think very early on in that process, it was clear that annexation was something that our neighborhood wanted to happen, and specifically into the city of Chamblee. So from that effort, we transitioned into kind of a cheerleaders to the city of Chamblee to go to them and say, hey, we've got this great neighborhood of people that would really like to be part of your city. Please come annex us. Because there's different ways to become annexed, but if a city does the legislative effort, the resolution to annex a part of an area, that is by far the easiest way to become a part of a city. I think taxes was probably the initial thought that when people thought about joining a city, that it's double taxation. And I think once people had an opportunity to really understand what taxes mean, it's not double taxation, it's a replacement of services. So yes, there are more organizations receiving part of your property tax dollars, but it's not on top of what you're already paying. So for example, with police services, instead of our money going to DeKalb County for police services, those monies now go to the city of Chamblee for our police services. And I think once people understood that that was how taxes were going to work out, and then they started to get an idea of, how much of a tax increase, would it be a tax increase, that people realized that it's probably worth a little bit more in property taxes to get more localized city services and representation. So I think in the long run, yes, their taxes may have gone up nominally, $100, $200, but it's been well worth what we get in return.